Greetings, friends. In today's video, we're tackling a fascinating and timely question. Can Jews celebrate Christmas? Christmas is often seen as a holiday filled with joy, warmth, and togetherness. But for Jews, it raises a unique question. Is it okay to participate? At first glance, the answer might seem obvious. Isn't Christmas a Christian holiday? And doesn't Jewish tradition steer us away from adopting non-Jewish practices? But what if Christmas is no longer just a Christian holiday? What if it has become something bigger, a cultural phenomenon with its own secular identity? Surveys show that in countries like the United States, 90% of people celebrate Christmas, but only 55% view it as a religious holiday. For many, it's about family, gift-giving, and the joy of the season. In this video, we'll explore the idea that celebrating Christmas as a Jew, as long as it's stripped of its religious elements, might not only be okay, but also align with modern perspectives on cultural integration. Let's dive in. To understand whether Jews can celebrate Christmas, we need to first look at what Christmas means today. Historically, Christmas was the celebration of the birth of Jesus, deeply rooted in Christian theology. But in modern times, Christmas has evolved into something much broader. For many people around the world, it's a secular holiday, a time for family, gift-giving, and enjoying festive traditions. Statistics provide a clearer picture. In the U.S., Pew Research shows that while 90% of Americans celebrate Christmas, nearly a third of those people do so without religious observance. Similarly, in the UK, 75% of people celebrate Christmas, but a large portion focus solely on the secular elements. Decorations, Santa Claus, holiday music, and festive meals have little to do with religion and everything to do with culture. This secular shift has been reinforced by the commercialization of Christmas. Think of Black Friday sales, holiday advertising, and even popular movies like Home Alone or Elf. These are cultural markers, not religious rituals. So, if Christmas can be celebrated without religious intent, does it mean it's open to everyone? Let's keep exploring. History shows us that cultural adaptation isn't a new concept for Jews. During the Hellenistic period, some Jews participated in Greco-Roman festivals like Saturnalia, a precursor to Christmas. Saturnalia was a time of feasting, gift-giving, and merriment, much like modern Christmas. For Hellenized Jews living in Greco-Roman cities, these celebrations were an opportunity to engage with their neighbors and participate in the larger cultural milieu. Of course, this was controversial. Observant Jews criticized these practices, seeing them as a threat to Jewish identity and religious integrity. But it's a pattern we've seen time and again, Jews adapting to the cultures around them while striving to maintain their distinctiveness. This tension between assimilation and preserving tradition is still relevant today. Celebrating Christmas as a cultural event doesn't necessarily mean adopting Christian theology. It's about finding a balance that respects both Jewish values and broader cultural participation. One of the biggest concerns for Jews considering Christmas is the concept of idolatry. In Judaism, idolatry is defined as acts of worship or reverence directed toward other deities. But here's the key: intent matters. Decorating a tree or exchanging gifts without any connection to religious worship is not idolatry. These are cultural practices, not acts of devotion. Halachic, or Jewish law, does caution against imitating non-Jewish customs, a principle called chukat hagoyim. However, many rabbis argue that secular traditions unrelated to religion fall outside this prohibition. It's important to distinguish between engaging in traditions and adopting theology. Lighting a tree or enjoying a festive meal does not signify a theological compromise. As long as there's no intent to worship or revere another deity, these actions can be seen as participation in cultural norms rather than religious rituals. So, if your intent is to celebrate the season and not to engage in religious worship, Christmas can be viewed as a cultural event rather than a theological one. For many Jews today, the question of Christmas is deeply personal. For some Jews, participating in secular Christmas activities is a way to enjoy the season's broader cultural festivities while maintaining their distinct Jewish identity. Pew Research highlights that Jewish identity is evolving, with increasing numbers of Jews finding ways to engage with secular aspects of Christmas without compromising their traditions. These shifts often spark debate within the community. Some see even secular Christmas traditions as a form of assimilation that risks diluting Jewish identity. Others argue that participating in cultural events doesn't make you any less Jewish. It's about intent and maintaining your core values. In countries like the US, where Christmas is almost unavoidable, choosing how to engage with the season is often a matter of personal reflection. For some, it's about creating memories with family and friends. For others, it's a way to connect with society at large while still holding on to their Jewish identity. Ultimately, how you engage with Christmas is a personal choice, shaped by your values, community, and traditions. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this discussion meaningful, consider sharing this video with others who care about building inclusive and sustainable communities. Together, we can inspire positive change. By the way, if you're interested in exploring more topics like this, check out my book, available now on Amazon. It's a deep dive into community, faith, and building a better future together. Links are in the description below. Thanks for watching, and happy holidays.